Sarah Ferguson was once loved as the lively Duchess who made the royal family laugh, but her life has now become a cautionary story. This tells the tale of the Duchess of York's decline from palace prestige to scandal and embarrassment. In July 1986, Sarah Margaret Ferguson married Prince Andrew, giving Britain a duchess who seemed to be the epitome of friendliness, wit, and relatability. The royal family wasn't accustomed to her being a refined aristocracy, but that's exactly why people loved her. She was vivacious, red-haired, and grounded, making her nickname Fergie the ideal counterpoint to the stiff upper lip of royal tradition. She appeared to be a part of the royal future along with Andrew. However, there are parts of fairy tales that are left out of picture books. And in front of the world, Sarah's happily ever after was about to fall apart. Because of his naval service, Prince Andrew, the gap between husband and wife widened as they were absent for months at a time. Sarah, meanwhile, started forging her own route, supporting non-profits, going to galas, and becoming more and more discordant with royal norms. According to reports, the Queen disapproved of her spending habits and informality. It seems that Sarah was having trouble fitting in. Although they were still legally the Duke and Duchess of York, the marriage was virtually finished in private by the early 1990s, the scandal that would follow her for the rest of her life then arose in the summer of 1992. Photographers documented one of the most startling royal scandals of the 20th century in August. In 1992, in addition to her American financial advisor, the Duchess of York was on vacation in Saint-Tropez with her two little daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie. Advisor Jean Brian. The Duchess was seen lounging topless on a sunbed while Brian kissed and sucked her toes while the girls played nearby. In a matter of hours, the pictures were on every British top page. Fergie's embarrassing toe-sucking made headlines. It couldn't have come at a worse time. The monarchy was already in turmoil due to Charles and Diana's relationship, and Prince Andrew was serving the Queen overseas. Disintegrating marriage. It was said that the royal family was incensed. According to reports, the Queen's summer hideaway in Balmoral descended into turmoil. Would you please finish it? I don't want to go down this, therefore that part is why. I have a lot of questions for you, Duchess. No, I'm also a tabloid. Sarah's Australian agent is named John, off-screen. However, this is all that you have written in your book. Yes, I am aware of it. Additionally, you have agreed that the book has already been released and are publishing it. Fergie's royal life came to an end at that same moment. The separation became final, even though she and Prince Andrew would continue to be officially married for 4 more years. She has longer received an invitation to official royal functioning, and the public's compassion started to wane. Fergie's name would become inextricably linked with scandal after that. Sarah was left to fend for herself financially after the split. She had to deal with growing debt and dubious commercial endeavors without the reliable security of royal funding. Tabloids covered extravagant vacations, extravagant spending patterns, and outstanding invoices. Former employees spoke of lavish feasts in the style of Henry VIII, where money was not a concern, even when it ought to have been. To restore her reputation, she sold her narrative to publications, accepted commercial endorsements, and even made appearances on discussion shows on American television. However, her efforts to remain current frequently landed her in the middle of more intense controversies. In 2010, she was implicated in a scandal involving the payment of $500,000 to a writer who was pretending to be a businessman in order to gain access to Prince Andrew. She was embarrassed by the sting operation once more, demonstrating how her desire to be seen often led her into ethical and professional danger zones. New information about the late notorious financier Jeffrey Epstein came to light in 2025, just when it appeared that Sarah had ran out of ways to bring shame onto herself. According to emails that surfaced, the Duchess wrote to Epstein in 2011 after severing her relationship with him in public, describing him as her loyal, giving, and best friend. She also expressed regret for her earlier media criticism of him, The British public was shocked by the disclosure. Overnight, charities broke off ties. The public lost faith. Insiders at Buckingham Palace were reportedly horrified, calling it the ultimate humiliation. Although Fergie later stated that she wrote the email merely in response to Epstein's threats to ruin her family and reputation, the harm had already been done. She was firmly established as one of the most poisonous individuals associated with the royal brand due to her prior affiliation with Epstein and Prince Andrew's infamous relationship. The royal household, already fed up with the Yorks' never-ending problems, they started to close ranks. Insiders have said that she's running out of life, and both King Charles and Prince William are committed to modernizing. Long before her death, even the renownedly tolerant Queen Elizabeth II, who had occasionally allowed Fergie to rejoin family get-togethers, was reported to have reached her breaking point. The tale of Sarah Ferguson is not just about one woman's descent from elegance. It reflects the monarchy's battle to endure in a time of constant scrutiny. She has been torn between the worlds of royal majesty and desperate celebrity for decades. Every mistake she made, whether it was moral, economical, or personal, drove her farther away from salvation. Fergie's life story includes everything from toe-sucking tabloids to cash-for-access deals to Epstein emails. A disaster for the royal family. One question still stands as the Duchess of York enters her last phase of public life. Will she ever fully recover? Or has her tale already turned into a cautionary tale for the royal family? "I'm the most forgiving person I know," Sarah Ferguson famously said to an interviewer. But forgiveness from the public and the monarchy may be far harder to earn. In her quest for love, the Duchess has turned into a representation of scandal, excess, and remorse. She may have also demonstrated the frailty of royal life in her demise. She is running out of lives, according to insiders. Long before her death, even the renownedly tolerant Queen Elizabeth II, who had occasionally allowed Fergie to rejoin family get-togethers, was reported to have reached her breaking point. The tale of Sarah Ferguson is not just about the downfall of one woman. It reflects the monarchy's battle to endure in a time of constant scrutiny. She has been torn between the worlds of royal majesty and desperate celebrity for decades. Every mistake she made, whether it was moral, economical, or personal, drove her farther away from salvation. From cash-for-access deals to toe-sucking tabloids, and Fergie's life is described in Epstein emails as a royal tragedy. One question still stands as the Duchess of York enters her last phase of public life. Will she ever fully recover? Or has her tale already turned into a cautionary tale for the royal family? "I'm the most forgiving person I know," Sarah Ferguson famously said to an interviewer. But forgiveness from the public and the monarchy may be far harder to earn. The Duchess's desire for love has come to represent scandal, excess, and remorse. She may have also demonstrated the frailty of royal life in her demise. What do you think, then? Will this setback help Sarah Ferguson bounce back? Does she have to stay at Royal Lodge? Above all, do you believe that Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew's titles should be revoked? Tell us what you think by leaving a comment. Additionally, for more royal news and updates, make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you watching.